Thanks to the support as a channel member, Matt Roberts. Well, after a sensational first season in charge of Chelsea, it's only the Champions League final. This could be a Champions League and Premier League double. Even if it is, reminder, we are doing a second season of this save because I really want to do this summer transfer window. I also really want to show you what the Champions League changes to in season 3 because it completely changes into something different. So this save does continue even if we win. That being said, we're playing Real Madrid, so the chances of us winning are probably fairly slim anyway. Hello and welcome to part 10 of my FM23 beta save with Chelsea. Today is the day. It's the Champions League final. We faced Real Madrid. We finished the season off in the Premier League with 2 wins, one over Tottenham, one over Leeds. And we are relatively injury-free going into this Champions League final. Ryan Gravenberch not completely fit and Callum Hudson-Odoi not completely recovered from his injury from earlier on in the season. But why have we not got... Why does it keeps turning off my custom squad view, which, by the way, I know lots of you have asked about the custom squad view. It will be appearing on Steam Workshop as soon as Steam Workshop is a thing. But if you've got the FM22 version, you can just drag it from FM22 into your FM23 folder and it will work in game. But for some reason, it keeps turning off anyway. So hopefully that's just a beta thing. It might be because we've had the update recently and I didn't notice that the update changed it. But yeah, there you go. We've got the squad view back on. And as I was saying, after the injury crises we've had multiple of this season, it's quite nice to see us relatively injury-free going into the Champions League final. But this Champions League final is going to be a tough one. This is a Real Madrid side who have won La Liga just as comfortably as we've won the Premier League. And obviously they have a rather strong side with... I mean, if you match this side up player for player with us, I would suggest we've maybe got a slightly stronger defence, but they've definitely got us in midfield and attack. So it's going to be an interesting one. This is the team we're putting out there. We've got Mendy in goal, a back four of Chilwell, Pavard, Fofana and James. Jorginho at the base of the midfield, Kante and Gallagher in central midfield. Big call, I think, to have Conor Gallagher in there. Ahead of either Kovacic in the 4-3-3, or we could have even got him with the 4-2-3-1 and had Mason Mount in there as an attacking midfielder. But I think we needed the extra security of having Jorginho sat in front of the back four against a team like Real Madrid. And I've been saying it all along, Conor Gallagher, arguably my favourite player in this Chelsea team. He has been fantastic all season long. And as much as it seems like madness to leave Mason Mount out for the Champions League final, Gallagher gets the nod because he's just better suited to this position. And we've seen him hit those beautiful through balls time and time again. We've then got Pedro Gonçalves on the left, Raheem Sterling on the right, and Kai Havertz up front. Kai Havertz hopefully leading the line for the last time for us, because with this big pot of cash to spend, this summer's transfers, which will be coming up in tomorrow's video, should see us bring in a striker. Amongst other things, Koulibaly has actually requested a transfer as well because he's unhappy. So he's definitely going to be someone who we're moving on and hopefully able to get close to the at least close to the money that Chelsea paid for him last summer. I think his weekly salary of £300,000 a week is going to be a problem, but I definitely want to ship him out. And if we can get him gone along with some of these other fringe squad players who are a little bit older, Azpilicueta, I'm looking at you, Aubameyang, I'm looking at you, Kovacic, I'm looking at you. If we can get these guys gone, that 100 million we've got to spend at the moment becomes 250 million, and we get to go nuts in this transfer window. I'm very much looking forward to the transfer window. But for now, I guess we should focus in on the task at hand, the Champions League final against Real Madrid. I have turned sound back on for this because, you know, it's the Champions League final. We've got to enjoy a little bit of sound. Let me just make sure it's all turned on my computer as well. We've got to have a little bit of Champions League music before the Champions League final, surely. I don't know when it starts. Does it start here? I'm not hearing it yet. Guess we have to do the team. There it is. It's a bit quiet. Turn it up a bit. Those of you on the fence about upgrading to FM23, well worth it just for this, isn't it? Those seats up there look good. Oh, look at us. We're ready. We are ready, boys and girls. I want those seats up there. They look fantastic. Right, I'm now turning that off again. Ah, has the match started? Goodness me. Let me do my admin first. Get that turned off there. Get it turned off on my computer as well. We don't want any more accidental music. But I think for the final, it's acceptable to play the Champions League song. Get the headphones off, because anyone who does a Football Manager video in headphones is weird. Very weird. And it is Real Madrid. So why is there nobody in that corner? It's the Champions League final. Where are we? Why doesn't it say the stadium? It used to say the stadium in here, didn't it? We're just jumping out so that we can see what stadium we're playing at. We are at the Ataturk Olympic Stadium in Istanbul. So that's the... Is it just a national stadium in Istanbul? Because it doesn't look like a club team plays there. And weirdly, that corner... completely empty. The rest of the ground seems absolutely stuffed full. So I wonder if it's actually the case of there's some renovation going on there and it's just not represented. Otherwise, that's really weird for a Champions League final. There to be a huge area of the ground that they didn't bother opening, despite there being 75,000 people packed into the stadium. You could fit a few more in there. Goodness me, those people stood on the rafters in the other corner would probably like to be a little bit closer to the action. Not that there is any action, because we're 35 minutes in now and there's been that one highlight that I paused so that I could turn the music off, and that's been it. What a nothing event of a Champions League final so far. Well, what's happened here? Okay. I thought my monitor had melted. Don't do that to me, Football Manager. Goodness me. I mean, Real Madrid slightly edging it so far, as you can see from the match stats. But we've got into this with our holding midfielder. We've got into it with a view to keeping it tight, hoping they don't score a load of goals against us and maybe hitting them on the break, hitting them with a set piece. I know they're a better team than we are. So I think for as long as the game is tight, for as long as it's 0-0, that's favouring us. Because if we turn this into a basketball match, if we go end to end and punch for punch, blow for blow, whatever you want to call it, they've got more firepower than we are. So we definitely need to keep it tight for as long as we possibly can. I'm a little bit concerned to see Conor Gallagher on a yellow card when he's got a lot of running to do in this second half, a lot of work to do in that central midfield. It might be an idea to bring Kovacic or even Mount on to play in that central midfield position. Pedro Gonçalves has been brought down here. I don't think he's in the penalty area. The referee, is he booking Gonçalves for a dive? No, it's a penalty. I was going to say he was walking over towards Pedro. No penalty. Well, I didn't think it was a penalty because it wasn't in the area, but send the guy off, ref, maybe? Oh, look how close it is. Right, this is that opportunity we were talking about. Reece James to curl one in. We've got Fofana lurking at the far post. It's a little bit overhit. And Madrid managed to get it clear, but only as far as Raheem Sterling. We're getting an extended highlight here. Apparently not. Chilwell in front of the Pepsi Max poster. It's not a poster, is it? It's a big old advert. I mean, it makes me want a Pepsi, and I don't drink cola anymore. And now I really want one. Advertising works, kids. Kai Havertz with the shot that is palmed away by Courtois in goal for Real Madrid. I mean, we saw in real life last year Courtois winning Real Madrid the Champions League with a phenomenal performance in a final. He's going to be even more motivated to do it against Chelsea because obviously we're the club that never really gave him the chance. And yeah, he's having a good one again today. He's a problem, isn't he? And now Real Madrid with their first proper chance of the game on 60 minutes. Luckily, it's wildly hit, goes over. Mendy had it covered anyway. We don't need to worry about that. And now it's us on the attack again. It's Reece James with the throw. He gives it to Jorginho. And now Sterling, who's been tackled, but Kante comes away with the ball. James into the area. Couldn't quite get a proper connection on the cross. It was blocked as he was hitting the cross, and it ends up being cleared. And it's back with Pavard again at the back for us, trying to play it back through Jorginho, out to Chilwell, who's got space on the left-hand side. Big, deep cross that ends up with Reece James. It was a terrible ball, but James has got space to run into, plays it across. I don't know if it was a shot, don't know if it was a cross. It hit Kai Havertz in the face and went wide anyway. But that was, we've gone close a couple of times now. Sterling is going to come off here because he's tiring. I think we bring on Mason Mount. And we're also looking at Conor Gallagher, and I think we bring Kovacic on for him. I don't like the idea of him being there carrying a yellow card. And now we're... Pulisic has been fantastic this season. I think we bring Pulisic on here. I don't really want to make 4 changes, but I just noticed Reece James is tiring as well. Azpilicueta comes on for him. Right, 4 changes. We're saving 1. I think if it goes to extra time, I think we get another one as well. Ben Chilwell is now tiring. I wanted an attacking change, really. But we've got a free kick here. It's going to be Mason Mount, fresh off the bench. 76 minutes on the clock. Oh, it just skims over the top of the crossbar. We've had the better of it in this second half. It might have been Real Madrid's game in the first half. This second half, there are certainly chance-wise, it has been all Chelsea. Cucurella now coming on for Chilwell, changing up both of our fullbacks now. If we do go to extra time, we're definitely looking at making another attacking change. But we've had our final roll of the dice for normal time. Mount with a fantastic saving tackle. That's why he got the nod ahead of Aubameyang. And now Kovacic has been brought down by Rudiger. And it's a straight red card for the former Chelsea man. That could be pivotal. Rudiger sent off for Real Madrid. And we're going into the final 5 minutes of this game. Real Madrid down to 10 men. Goodness me. Fofana running forward now. Mason Mount looking to slot Havertz through. And can't. I think if we do go to extra time and get that extra substitution, we go to the 4-2-3-1 now. We're playing against 10 men and push an extra man forward. And I cannot believe that's happened. Benzema, almost immediately after the red card, has it in the back of the ref is reviewing it, or VAR is reviewing it. Please disallow it. This is going to make me very sad. It has been disallowed. We live on. Benzema, so dangerous. It would have been his 31st goal of the season, and it's very, very marginal, but it is disallowed. Okay, we've survived a little bit longer. I really want to be able to make an attacking change. I shouldn't have made as many substitutions as I did, as early as I did. Azpilicueta now on the right-hand side. Probably his final game for Chelsea. Will he get to lift the Champions League trophy once again in his final appearance? Kai Havertz is in! What happened there? That didn't look like a deflection, just like he completely scuffed it. He had Mount alongside him as well. Between the two of them, there should be a proper shot happening there, and I'm very disappointed that we didn't get to see one. It looks like we are going to be hitting extra time unless we grab a goal here. A minute to go. It's Havertz playing it across to Mount. Mount comes away with the ball. Mason Mount has poked it in at the near post. The substitute, the man who would have felt very hard done by for being left out, the homegrown boy. With less than a minute to go, Mason Mount has scored for Chelsea in the Champions League final. It's such a scrappy goal. He picks the ball up there. Camavinga gives it away. Hernandez tries to get the ball off him, but can't. Mount, with just sheer will and determination, forces his way past the Real Madrid defenders. Oh, my word. We're seeing the Champions League celebration. I've not seen this before. This is... Oh, it's very pretty, isn't it? Look at the stage. Look at the camera angles. I wonder if the music's playing again. Can we... We can't turn it back on now. We shouldn't have turned it off when we did. Here we go, boys and girls. Look at that for it. I've got... Is that me on my own little... No, I'm over here. I want this podium. I wanted to see everyone get their little medals, get their little badges. I love the new stage, the proper Champions League stage and carpet area, all very fancy. And you got to say, against all odds, it was that Rudiger red card was absolutely crucial, because Mount was then able to dance through the middle of the defence where Rudiger would have been preventing him from doing so. We've only gone and won the Champions League. Wow. All part of the plan, so I could show you those animations at the end, obviously. Agent Rudiger. We sent him to Madrid to deliver us a Champions League. We can bring him back now. That would be, let's get investigated for shenanigans by signing Rudiger to come back to Chelsea this summer. Well. 2 in 3 years for Chelsea. It's just Chelsea or Real Madrid. That's who wins the Champions League, apparently. Yikes. Okay, I'll level with you all. Was not expecting a League and Champions League double in my first season of FM23. So the plan from here, like I said at the start, we're not ending the save like we normally would on a Champions League win. Mainly, well, there's 2 main reasons. One, I really want to do this rebuild, these transfers that I've been planning and talking about all summer long. So although we've won the Champions League, it is with an old team that aren't going to be in a position to keep winning it. So we need to freshen up this squad, make it a little bit younger, leave it in a position to carry on dominating for years to come, make Chelsea a real European superpower rather than a team that wins the Champions League against the odds like we just have. But also, I want to show you season 3 of the save when the Champions League completely changes up into the new format. The one league of, I think, is it 32 teams, but you only play 8 matches, so you don't play everyone who's in it. And so I think what we're going to do, tomorrow's transfer window will be as normal. We'll do a normal transfer window tomorrow, but then season 2, we are going to kind of race through because obviously we've won the league this year. We've won the Champions League this year. If the transfers ruin the team and we end up rubbish next season, we'll slow down and focus in a little bit. But on the assumption we're going to be really good again, I'm not going to show you loads of next season because I know it can get a little tiresome just watching me win 8-0 all the time. So we'll do the transfers. We'll race through season 2, get another bunch of transfers done, hopefully finish that job of refreshing the team, and then focus in for the final few days of the beta before Non-League to Legend starts on the 8th of November. We'll be able to focus in on that new style Champions League and have a proper deep dive, proper look at that and see how that works. So that's the plan for the rest of this series. Obviously, you have got Non-League to Legend to come on the 8th of November as well. So mark that in your diary. As soon as the full game is out, Non-League to Legend starts with Peterborough Sports. But for now, I'm going to go and celebrate my Champions League glory and plan a summer of transfers for tomorrow's video. Thanks for watching, folks. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. We won the Champions League.